Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be discussing a new release from one of my favorite brands, Longines. Longines has just come out with their Master Collection Moonphase group of watches, and I thought we would discuss them, show you some pictures, give you a few of our initial thoughts, and just have a conversation about it. Before we get into that, if you are new to the channel, welcome to Life on the Wrist. We create videos about just about any topic in the watch industry. So if you're interested in those types of videos, definitely check out our other videos, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And while you're by that subscribe button, if you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up, that would really help us out. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, which is probably how you stumbled upon this video. So definitely hit that for us. It'd be greatly appreciated. So as I said, Longines has released their Master Collection Moonphase group of watches. Longines is one of my, honestly, I think it's a brand that doesn't get enough praise for the amazing watches that they release within the watch industry. I think they're also a very good place to be, kind of a sweet spot within the vintage watch world, and I don't think you should overlook them. The Master Collection is obviously a little bit more of their traditional pieces, and in this iteration of the Master Collection Moonphases, they've brought about a Moonphase function within this line of watches, and there are 7 different watches that were released by Longines. They range between 40 and 42 millimeters and retail for approximately 2.5 to 2.8 thousand US dollars, which is a really great two things. First of all, the size of the watch I think is very wearable. I think it's on the edge of being modern and a little bit larger to fit the trends that people are kind of gravitating towards, but also it's not super large, and it doesn't kind of, scream at you, and it doesn't look like you're wearing a UFO on your wrist, which is cool. Also, I think the price range is really great, especially for something like an entry-level watch. I think this is a really great price point. So 2.5 to 2.8 is a great range to be in, especially with that Moonphase complication. There's a bunch of dial variations you can get, but there's blue, black, silver dials. I'll be sure to put up pictures of all the variations. The movement inside is an ETA based Longines modified movement, so you are getting a mass produced movement, but it has the Longines flair to it within their decorations and adjustments that they made. Some people don't like the fact that they have watches that are ETA based. Some people do. I think it kind of comes down to your preferences as a collector. Having a ETA based movement allows for it's put together really well. It's very easy to be serviced. So there are a lot of pros that come from having an ETA based movement, and I think this is no exception, especially for this type of price point. So just my initial thoughts. I think first off, I think that the biggest thing here is the Moonphase complication, because that's really what they're releasing. At the end of the day, the Moonphase complication is really just useless. It doesn't really help you in any way, shape, or form. However, I think there's a little bit more, at least nowadays, there's a lot more to it than just being a complication on your wrist. It's really not the point of the watch, and I think that's what makes it so special. It's very classic looking. It kind of brings you back to a time period that perhaps we're not living in right now. It's extremely elegant, and it's also something that's very cool to talk about. If I'm with a group of friends and they see a moon, or the Moonphase on my wrist, they're probably going to ask questions and say, "Oh wow, that looks like a really nice watch." And oftentimes these watches actually look a little bit more expensive than they really do cost. I think this is no exception here. I really like the fact that it's quite classical. It's a really cool thing to talk about, and also I think being that you have to adjust the Moonphase every single time that you set it, if you let it stop running, I think it is a cool connection that you can have with your watch, and something that you'll enjoy setting. Hopefully, if that's the type of person you are, hopefully you'll enjoy setting the watch every time that you have to adjust the Moonphase. It's a useless complication, but an extremely cool one at that, and there are a lot of pros that you can find from it. My second thought is that it's very well priced. I think this is a really great entry-level watch, especially if you are into a little bit more of the classic, elegant-looking watches. When you're deciding on what watch to purchase yourself, a lot of people go, the diving route or perhaps a chronograph. But I think this Moonphase is a perfect place to start, especially because you are getting that complication. You are getting something that looks very elegant, and it's from a really well-renowned company like Longines. Longines does have vintage Moonphases that it's probably taking some of their, they're bringing their heritage a little bit forward with this watch, which is cool. So I think it's very well priced for 2.5 to under $3,000 for a very nice Moonphase from a great company. Third, and I kind of touched on this, but Longines really does have a wonderful heritage that they need to bring through a little bit more. I think Alfredo Peramico and John Goldberger both are proponents for vintage Longines. They think there's a lot of value, and I think Life on the Wrist has the same mindset as they do, especially because I think you can pick up some beautiful looking Longines for reasonable prices. You can also find some that are a little bit more expensive. I mean, Longines has some of the best chronograph movements ever produced by any Swiss company, like with the 13ZN movement. So an absolutely beautiful chronograph movement inside of that watch. But they've also created very, very classic watches. We've sold a couple vintage Longines on our site that are relatively well priced, and you'll get a lot for every single dollar that you spend on a vintage Longines. I think you can also find vintage Longines that have box and papers and all the things that you're looking for when purchasing a watch, which is another great aspect for it. So it's cool that they're trying to bring that heritage forward to the present day. And I think if you are purchasing a Longines watch, you're not just purchasing the name Longines, you're also purchasing the entire story behind them, which I think is a perfect way to do it, especially with such a classical looking watch like this Moonphase. I think they should get a little bit more respect from the watch community. I know that they certainly do currently get quite a bit of respect, but I think there's still a long way for them to jump, and hopefully that will kind of become a little bit more prevalent throughout the watch industry with those watches they've created. And lastly, I thought I would just discuss the movement, and I kind of discussed this a little bit previously, but you're going to get a robust workhorse movement with this ETA based Longines modified Moonphase caliber. I think it's a great first watch to get, especially because this movement is quite robust, easily serviced, etc, etc. So it's a great first watch because you don't have to be too delicate, which is often the case when you are dealing with these more classical looking watches that have these rich heritage of these elegant designs and a great movement, a great complication in the Moonphase movement. So it's nice that it's ETA based. It's a great first watch, especially if you're just getting into the watch collecting world, and you don't have to be too delicate with it because you know that the movement was produced to just work, and I think that's some reassurance that you can have, especially with such a classic watch. So my initial thoughts are I definitely like where Longines is taking this collection. I think there are some beautiful variations. I saw the blue dial one, which obviously is quite popular. I love blue dials, which is very cool. If I was looking for something a little bit more classic, I'd probably go with a white or a black dial, but I think the blue dial is absolutely stunning. I also like the price point, which is great, and I'm glad that Longines is really taking who they are and kind of infusing it into their current releases in their watch lineup. So definitely gets a thumbs up for me. And being that I'm giving a thumbs up to Longines, and if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up on this video. It really would help us out. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this Moonphase from Longines, Moonphase collection from Longines. I know that there are a lot of other companies that come out with Moonphase watches that are oftentimes a lot more expensive, but I think this is making the Moonphase complication quite attainable for those who are interested in that type of classic design and such. So let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you end up picking up one, let me know in the comment section below that you did. I would love to see some pictures. If you are new to the channel, like I said, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you do pick up this Longines watch, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook or through our website. We would love to see, or on Twitter, we would love to see a wrist shot from you, and perhaps we'll post it on our story or onto our profile, being that we are talking about this watch. All of our social media is at Life on the Wrist, one word, so be sure to check us out there, and we try to post as often as possible, almost daily, so definitely check us out there. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.